there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Here's Jackson. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Jackson's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well executed possession. They controlled the shot. Nicely done.
Love with the screen on Lillard. Irving drives in, and the shot is good. Irving's got his first basket.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Feeds it to Aminu. 5 to shoot. Back to Jackson. Steps back and fires. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with David Blatt.
Well, Kevin, he said that they didn't want to take what the defense gave them tonight, saying we need to play our game. I told my guys to go right at their defenders and make plays happen. If we sit back and don't be the more aggressive team, we'll just be digging a hole for ourselves. Sounds like they have confidence in their ability to score, guys.
Thanks for filling us in there, Doris. Thank you so much. Getting their offense sorted out is the priority here, guys.
And that's what typically drives them. So no big surprise there. They'll be expending most of their energy at the offensive end.
Well, I tell you what, they better save some of that energy for D. I don't care how much you score. At some point, you got to stop some people, too.
And typically, he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Irving with the steal. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Trailblazers trail by 8. To the middle. Got a piece of it. They get it back.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
And he gets it to go.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this.
I want you to focus on getting to the rim. Let's look to attack quickly. We need high percentage shots. Move the ball around and make the defense rotate.
And we'll take a look here at a very skilled bunch of point guards at the stripe. Look at the numbers they've put up over the last 10 games. Damian Lillard, third.
Well, if these guys can get to the line, there's not much question what the outcome's going to be. So it sort of prevents the D from being as aggressive as they'd like to be against them.
Yeah, because of their shooting ability, they get a little more space than the average point guard. Maybe they'll miss a shot from the floor, but if you send them to the line, those points are almost guaranteed.
Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Davis.
Well, I'd have to say Lillard is one of the game's best passers right now.
So for the Trailblazers, their last game, a win against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Thompson against Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Lillard. Love grabs the board.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough. You know, the Cavs had a slow start to last season compared to how everybody thought they would play. Still, it was the best start for Kevin Love in his career and would end up being the most winning team he's played on. Says something about how long he's waited for success.
Lillard, the pass to Jackson. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Jackson's got 5. The Cavaliers leading by 7. Love with the screen for Irving. Pass to Love. It's a pick by Love. James dishes to Love. Just 5 on the clock. Irving drives in, and Jackson with the block. And Aminu kicks to Lillard. Lillard gets the screen from Jackson. Lillard against Irving. And the basket by Lillard. And Love, who would also go on to make his first postseason appearance, played in the first round last year. It was a complete 180 for him in what he was used to at Minnesota.
And even though there were ups and downs for Love last season, you know that he must have enjoyed winning for a change. And being in the league so long without making the playoffs. He finally got a chance to play in the postseason.
They set the pick. Jackson, a screen on Irving. And Lillard gets double-teamed. Here's Vonleh. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. Portland was just fantastic at home last season. We expect that, though, this Greg, 32-9. It was packed each game.
It's the fourth best in the entire league. You don't win your division without winning at home, and Portland definitely took care of business.
That one is off.
Well, I tell you what, it seems as though Portland is always good at home. It was 2007 when they last had a losing record in this building. Even when they're down overall, they're always tough at home.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Myers Leonard, he's checked in for Plumlee. And Tim Frazier subbed in for Damian Lillard. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Love. Jefferson comes in for James. Shumpert is checked in for J.R. Smith. And Mo Williams subbed in for Kyrie Irving.
And unfortunately, guys, for Portland, they didn't have home court advantage in the playoffs. As great as they were at home all year, it could have made a big difference for them in the postseason. And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
And Shumpert slams it in.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
Here is Frazier. Jackson, a screen on Williams. Frazier with it. Now guarded by Shumpert. Leonard, the pass to Aminu. Williams against Jackson. Shot from 12. Cannot hit. Ice. Jefferson dishes to Shumpert. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two.
And last year's midseason trade had to feel good to Iman Shumpert. Toiling away in New York, injured, uninspired. Boy, did he find new life in Cleveland. Of course, playing next to LeBron can do that for you.
And for Shumpert last year, Clark, he added the defense and athleticism on the wing that Cleveland so desperately needed.
Yeah, he sure did, Kevin. And he also became of all things. I mean, you wouldn't expect that from him, but he averaged over 3 assists a game, easily the best mark of his career.
Good point. Jackson with it. Williams picks him up. Shot from the wing. And that one goes long. Cleveland's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Jefferson kicks to Shumpert. Nobody near Williams. Gets a very good look and converts.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
It just seems like they're a step slow today.
There's the screen. Frazier gets a screen from Jackson. Jackson, a screen on Williams. Frazier kicks to Jackson. Good. Great play set up by Frazier. 8 points for Freak. 1:14 left in the first quarter. Thompson, a screen on Jackson. And it's Shumpert penetrating. Wants to get it to Varejau, and does.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Jackson against Shumpert. Off the pick. And he gets it to go. That's 10 points for Freak.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Williams passes to Jefferson. Back to Williams. 5 to shoot. Thompson, a screen on Frazier. Williams for 3. Again, Williams missing.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Leonard dishes to Frazier. From 10 feet out, can't get it to go. And that does it for the first quarter. Cavaliers on top. They lead by 7. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself. Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media. It's an entirely new group here for Portland. Plumlee, he's checked in for Kaman. Vonleh comes in for Ed Davis. Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And it's Jackson in for Frazier. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Love comes in for Anderson Varejao. Smith checked in for James. And it's Williams in for Shumpert. Jackson in at shooting guard. Vonleh's out there with Plumlee. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Aminu in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pelicans had a huge game. He had 20 points, and there weren't too many shots that didn't fall for him. Really efficient night from the field. The cherry on top for him, in addition to his outing, was ending the losing streak his team had been suffering through. We all know how big those moments can be for a team, Kevin.
Appreciate it, Doris. Thanks. Well, we've seen a lot of great players have a lot of great games, but that was something special.
And I love that no matter what approach they tried against him, nothing worked. I mean, he was ready for everything.
It makes you wonder what kind of defense they'll throw at him tonight. I mean, however they choose to play him, it's still going to take a special effort to keep him under control.
Nice shot by Smith.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Outside Irving. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 3 assists tonight.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end. Now, that's a close call there on the illegal screen.
But I'd go along with it, Greg. I mean, it didn't look like his feet were set to me.
The Cavaliers making a switch here. Jefferson's checked in. Thompson sets the pick for Williams. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid up and in by Thompson. And the Cavaliers lead by 18.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
That is good.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
It's a pick by Love. Williams kicks to Smith. Thompson, a screen on Lillard. Williams passes to Thompson. It's stolen by Aminu. Outside Jackson. Plumlee with the screen.
Move the ball and stick it too much.
Jackson drives in. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
And Lillard kicks to Vonleh. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Really, they've backed off of working it inside. I mean, they haven't gotten it inside as much as they did earlier in the game, and I think they've got to get back to that.
Leonard, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Cleveland.
Boy, they've come out of that locker room with the hot hand. Those jumpers have been falling for them.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
Thompson down low and stolen by Vonleh. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. Lillard with the ball.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second. And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Williams with the ball. Al-Farouq Aminu covering. Right side, Williams. Fires top of the key. That's tipped.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope, his only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush. Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Here's Jackson. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Jackson's got 12.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing to the hoop. And last season was one where Tristan Thompson transitioned from a starter to a bench role, didn't let the move bother him, and still put up solid numbers off the bench.
So we've reached the...
Well, obviously a lot of ground for you guys to make up in that second half. Do you expect Coach to shake things up to try to jumpstart you here in the third?
Yo, you better. Because I'm about to pop a blood vessel up for him. I can't stand losing like this. Yo, if he needs any suggestion on what we can change, he can come to me. Because I've been keeping the list all half. It's about 5 pages long at this point.
You simply can't get enough of you. Thanks for joining us. Kevin?
Okay, everybody, pay attention. We definitely got some stuff to go over from the first half. We're not going to let this game get away from us.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been... Here's Jackson. 16 seconds left in the game. So on the floor for Cleveland, J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Thompson and Verja at the 4 and 5. And it's Irving in at the point. Stolen by Jackson. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here.
Thank you.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Kyrie Irving. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the... And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny...
I told you, Don Pagnati always delivers. Brand Jordan Freak prototypes. Open the box, check them out.
It's like Christmas and my birthday on the same day. Oh, Dom.
You love them?
I love them.
Hey, they're waiting for your approval for production.
Approved.
Approved?
Approved.
Done. I'll make the call.
In Pagnati we trust.
I told you you'd love them.
Man.
Hey, I'm going to have you playing in those in 30 days or less.
Money. Oh, man.
Freaking and vibing. Freaking and vibing.
Freaking and vibing in these, baby.